The haunting inspiration behind Halloween, the real-life encounter that shaped Michael Myers. John Carpenter's iconic horror film, Halloween, continues to send shivers down spines decades after its release. The relentless serial killer, Michael Myers, has become a horror icon, but the inspiration behind him may surprise you. This chilling character wasn't solely born from fiction. He has roots in a real-life encounter. From The Babysitter Murders to Halloween Night. Initially titled The Babysitter Murders, the film's concept was broader. However, Carpenter and co-writer Deborah Hill ultimately focused on the terrifying events of one specific night, Halloween. A schizophrenic stare, the catalyst. During his college years, Carpenter visited a local mental institution for a class assignment. There, he met a young boy, no older than 13, whose gaze left a lasting impression. The boy's eyes held a disturbingly blank, emotionless stare, characteristic of schizophrenia. This encounter became the genesis of Michael Myers. Carpenter channeled the boy's unsettling presence into the character, creating a figure of pure malevolence that transcended the screen. Dr. Loomis, Michael's psychiatrist in the film, famously describes him as having the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. A haunted house takes center stage. Carpenter desired to infuse the film with a haunted house element. He envisioned every town possessing an old, unsettling house shrouded in local lore and whispers. This vision manifested as the abandoned Myers house, serving as an eerie backdrop for Michael's murderous plan. The Shape, faceless evil. Michael Myers, often referred to as the Shape, embodies pure evil. His white, expressionless mask adds to his enigmatic aura. Carpenter deliberately chose a blank, featureless visage to evoke fear. The mask itself, a modified Captain Kirk mask spray painted white, intensified the horror with its lack of expression. Suburbia turned nightmare, Haddonfield. The film unfolds in the fictional town of Haddonfield, representing the quintessential American suburb. Carpenter chose this setting to juxtapose the comfort and familiarity of a typical town with the unexpected terror that erupts within it. The ordinary streets, cozy homes, and trick-or-treaters become the backdrop for Michael's reign of terror, highlighting the vulnerability of normalcy. An unstoppable force, Michael's relentlessness. Michael Myers defies the typical horror movie villain. He isn't driven by revenge, greed, or supernatural forces. Instead, he embodies pure evil, an unstoppable force driven by an insatiable urge to kill. His slow, deliberate movements and unwavering pursuit of his victims create an atmosphere of constant dread. A genre-defining legacy. Halloween revolutionized horror cinema. The minimalist score, composed by Carpenter himself, became synonymous with impending doom. The film's success spawned a franchise, numerous sequels, and a cultural phenomenon. The film's impact continues to resonate, and Michael Myers remains a chilling testament to the power of blending reality with imagination. So, as Halloween approaches, remember that behind the mask of Michael Myers may lie a glimpse into the unsettling depths of the human psyche. Unveiling the chilling connection, how Scream draws from the horrifying tale of Danny Rolling. Few slasher films have cast a shadow as long as Wes Craven's 1996 masterpiece, Scream. It revitalized the genre with its self-awareness, clever subversion of tropes, and relentless tension. But beneath the iconic Ghostface mask lies a dark truth, inspiration drawn from the chilling story of Danny Rolling, the Gainesville Ripper. Rolling's horrific crimes in August 1990 terrorized Gainesville, Florida. Over 3 days, he brutally murdered 5 young college students in their apartments. His methodical approach, combined with taunts directed at law enforcement and cryptic messages, sent shockwaves through the community and captured national attention. A closer look reveals eerie parallels between Rolling's actions and Scream's narrative. Both Rolling and Ghostface targeted young, unsuspecting victims, in Rolling's case, college students, mirroring Ghostface's choice in the film. This deliberate choice amplifies the sense of vulnerability and fear experienced by both the characters and the real-life victims. Furthermore, the psychological aspect is deeply intertwined. Rolling, like Ghostface, relished instilling fear and manipulating his victims and law enforcement. His taunting communications mirrored the phone calls and messages delivered by Ghostface, adding a layer of complex dread and uncertainty. The media frenzy surrounding Rolling's crimes further mirrors a central theme in Scream, media exploitation and sensationalism. The relentless coverage fueled speculation and hysteria, blurring the lines between reality and fiction. As the film's narrative unfolds, the connection to the real-life events it draws from becomes clear. Perhaps the most chilling parallel lies in the notion of the killer in plain sight. In Scream, Ghostface hides behind the mask of an ordinary individual, revealing their true intentions only at the film's climax. Similarly, Rolling, a drifter with a troubled past, managed to evade capture for years, living among unsuspecting communities while harboring darkness within. While Scream is a work of fiction, its roots lie firmly in the horrifying reality of Rolling's crimes. The film's exploration of fear, deception, and the blurred lines between reality and fiction serve as a chilling reminder of the darkness within the human psyche. By drawing inspiration from one of the most infamous serial killers, Scream transcends traditional horror, offering a thought-provoking examination of the nature of evil and the thin lines separating the ordinary from the monstrous. The Strangers, and the haunting legacy of the Manson family. In the realm of cinematic horror, certain stories bleed beyond the screen, weaving themselves into the chilling tapestry of real-life atrocities. One such unsettling tale is the 2008 psychological thriller, The Strangers. Directed by Brian Bertino, this film plumbs the depths of human depravity, chronicling a night of terror for a young couple isolated in a vacation home. While the narrative is undeniably fictional, its core elements echo unsettlingly with one of the most notorious crimes in American history, the Tate murders. The Tate murders, orchestrated by the cult leader Charles Manson, sent shockwaves through the world in the late 1960s. On the fateful night of August 8–9, 1969, Manson's followers brutally murdered actress Sharon Tate, 8 months pregnant at the time, along with 4 others at her Los Angeles residence. The sheer brutality and senselessness of the killings left an indelible mark on society, forever etching itself into pop culture and the collective consciousness. Fast forward to The Strangers, where a young couple, Kristen and James, find themselves terrorized by 3 masked assailants in their isolated vacation home. What truly sets this film apart is its chilling realism and the absence of any discernible motive for the attacker's actions, a stark reflection of the randomness and senselessness that defined the Tate murders. The parallels between The Strangers and the Tate murders are hauntingly apparent. In both instances, unsuspecting victims are targeted within the supposed sanctuary of their own homes by individuals whose motives remain shrouded in mystery. The arbitrary nature of the attacks serves to amplify the fear, leaving audiences to grapple with the fragility of their own sense of security. Furthermore, the use of masks by the assailants in The Strangers bears an uncanny resemblance to the disguises worn by the Manson family members during their heinous acts. These masks not only serve to conceal the perpetrators' identities but also effectively dehumanize them, transforming them into faceless entities capable of unspeakable violence, a tactic employed by Manson to instill fear and exert control over his followers. Moreover, both narratives share a deeply unsettling psychological undercurrent. In The Strangers, the attackers engage in a twisted game of psychological torment with their victims, manipulating them with mind games before delivering the final blow, a tactic eerily reminiscent of Manson's manipulative influence over his followers. His ability to control vulnerable individuals, convincing them to commit acts of violence on his behalf, mirrors the psychological warfare waged by the masked intruders in the film. Despite the gulf of decades separating them, The Strangers stands as a chilling reminder of the enduring impact of the Tate murders on popular culture. The sense of unease and vulnerability evoked by both narratives transcends the boundaries of fiction, tapping into primal fears deeply embedded within the human psyche. In conclusion, while The Strangers is undoubtedly a work of fiction, the thematic echoes it shares with the Tate murders offer a sobering glimpse into the darkest corners of the human mind. By exploring the intersection between cinematic horror and real-life terror, the film serves as a haunting testament to the pervasive influence of history's most infamous crimes on contemporary storytelling. The chilling parallels. Captain Spaulding and John Wayne Gacy. The flickering neon sign of Captain Spaulding's Museum of Monsters and Madmen cast an eerie glow over the desolate highway. Inside, amidst the grotesque exhibits and dusty mannequins, lurked a man whose outward appearance belied a horrifying truth. Captain Spaulding, with his grease-painted face, crimson grin, and wild mane of hair, was a carnival of unsettling contradictions. To unsuspecting passers-by, he was a charming showman, regaling them with tales of the macabre with an unsettling enthusiasm. But beneath the surface, a darkness festered, a darkness eerily reminiscent of one of America's most notorious serial killers, John Wayne Gacy. Gacy, the seemingly upstanding citizen and beloved, Pogo the Clown, hid a monstrous secret. He lured young men into his clutches with the promise of kindness and opportunity, only to subject them to unimaginable torment within the walls of his own home. Like Gacy, Captain Spaulding employed a chilling facade. His museum, a twisted reflection of his morbid fascination, served as a stage for his dark charade. Behind the mask of a jovial entertainer, he meticulously orchestrated his sinister plans, drawing victims in with a disarming charisma that mirrored Gacy's predatory charm. Both men were masters of manipulation. Gacy, the trusted businessman and pillar of the community, used his status to gain the trust of his victims. Similarly, Spaulding's folksy demeanor and willingness to engage in friendly conversations served as a Trojan horse, lulling his victims into a false sense of security before the true horror unfolded. Their shared methods extended beyond mere manipulation. Both harbored a disturbing fascination with death and the macabre. Gacy's basement, a testament to his depravity, was adorned with macabre artwork depicting scenes of torture. Spaulding's museum, a grotesque cabinet of curiosities, mirrored this morbid fascination, showcasing exhibits that reveled in the dark underbelly of human nature. While Captain Spaulding is a figment of cinematic horror, his chilling portrayal in House of 1,000 Corpses serves as a stark reminder of the real-life horrors that lurk beneath the surface of seemingly ordinary individuals. Through this unsettling character, director Rob Zombie forces the audience to confront the uncomfortable truth. Sometimes, the monsters we fear most are not the fantastical creatures of the night, but the ones who walk among us in broad daylight, hidden behind a smile. The chilling parallels between Captain Spaulding and John Wayne Gacy serve as a cautionary tale, reminding us that evil can wear many masks, and even the most charming facade can conceal a heart of unspeakable darkness. Nightmares Unveiled. The true stories behind the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. In the desolate heart of Texas, where the sun beats down mercilessly and the wind whispers secrets through dry stalks of corn, a chilling legend took root. It wasn't a tale of ghosts or haunted houses, but something far more unsettling, a nightmare woven from the threads of real-life horrors. The whispers began with a name, Ed Gein, the Butcher of Plainfield. His story, a macabre symphony of twisted beliefs and unimaginable deeds, sent shivers down spines even miles away. Raised under the suffocating grip of his domineering mother, Gein's world was painted in shades of sin and fear. The disappearance of his brother, Henry, further plunged him into a twisted reality where the lines between life and death blurred. After his mother's demise, Gein's home, stripped of its last semblance of normalcy, became a chilling shrine. His morbid curiosity took a horrific turn, leading him to raid graveyards, transforming human remains into grotesque furniture and decorations. This descent into a macabre world culminated in the brutal slaying of Bernice Worden, a crime that exposed the terrifying depths of human depravity. But Gein wasn't the only source of inspiration for the chilling legend. The disturbing tale of Elmer Wayne Henley, a young man entangled in the horrific deeds of the Candyman, Dean Corll, also played a part. Henley, a lost soul seeking acceptance, became entangled in a web of depravity, his own morals blurring under the manipulative grip of his accomplice. This exploration of the fragility of morality in the face of darkness resonated deeply, adding a layer of complexity to the canvas of horror. The spark for the legend's most iconic element, however, came from an unexpected source. Tobe Hooper, the man destined to bring this nightmare to life, stumbled upon it amidst the mundane chaos of Christmas shopping. The sight of a chainsaw, its teeth gleaming under the harsh fluorescent lights, sent a shiver down his spine. The stark contrast between the festive season and the tool's brutal purpose birthed the terrifying weapon that would become synonymous with the legend, a symbol of raw power and unmitigated horror. Drawing upon these chilling threads, Hooper crafted a story that transcended mere horror. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre became a chilling reflection of the darker corners of human nature, a nightmare fueled by real-life atrocities and anxieties of a tumultuous era. It wasn't just a story, it was a disturbing echo of the shadows that lurk beneath the surface of our world, a reminder that sometimes, the most frightening monsters are not mythical creatures, but the ones who walk among us.